The Global Terrorism Index for 2022 lists Nigeria as the sixth most terrorized country in the world. The Nigerian Security Tracker, a project of the Council on Foreign Relations of the United States, reported that 5,222 lives were lost to activities of violent non-state actors between January and June 2022. Although we have dropped out of the top 20, Nigeria still ranks number 21 on the list of most dangerous countries in the world according to the Global Peace Index 2022. There is no doubt that widespread poverty in our country has fueled the fire of the protracted security crisis. Experts agree that there is a strong correlation between increased terrorism and inequality and inequitable distribution of wealth. The widening gulf between the rich and the poor in our country is alarming. Equally alarming is the poverty rate, which stood at 40% in 2021 and is believed to be around 45% in 2022, which translates to about 90 million citizens living below poverty line. This has led to disenchantment and feeling of alienation among our teeming youth population, leading to rise in cyber crimes, rise in kidnappings and ritual killings, and other violent acts that undermine public safety. Contributory factors to the current state of insecurity in the country include the absence of a modern security architecture, easy access to weapons by citizens, lopsidedness in power sharing, corruption, lack of accountability and productivity, all resulting in poor economic growth, a weak criminal justice system, religious bigotry and intolerance, and the lack of respect for the fundamental human rights of the citizens by the government. Going forward, we need to urgently draw up a holistic plan to address our security challenges in the short, medium, and long term. I am confident that our keynote speaker for today, Chief Mike Zuckerman, SAN, will do justice to this. Over the years, he has acquired a sterling reputation as a human rights activist and relentless crusader for governance and social justice. In the meantime, it is exigent that the federal government takes proactive actions to tackle the problem of herdsmen and farmers' conflicts and banditry, which are fast becoming the greatest threats to our national security and economic well-being. A situation where farmers are afraid to go to their farms and where insecurity on our roads is slowing down the movements of goods and service is a recipe for economic and food crisis. Urgent steps need to be taken to halt the gradual slide into anarchy.
A few years ago, the state government went on in making November the 16th a work-free day. The state government also went on to finish the sick stadium in Onitsha. We have done a lot of things to immortalize this great man, this icon, one of the founding fathers of great Nigeria that we look up to. Recently, we lost one of them, Chief Mbazulika Amechi. May his soul rest in peace. We want to take it to greater heights. And the governor says it all the time, that Zik is a true Igbo son, is a true Nigerian. Going through history, the kind of politics that Nnamdi Azikiwe and the others played, it seems to me that the recent generation is deviating. Whenever Zik prepared to make a speech, the whole place will shut down. People will clamor for their transistor radios and all that, listening to this great man speak wisdom eloquently, speak future to the younger generation. We must keep on emulating this. We must immortalize this great man. We must live this as politicians.
Nigeria in the throes of insecurity towards 2023. Any panacea, any cure. Many of you will be disappointed if you think I'm just going to discuss Boko Haram, armed bandits, kidnappers, and stop there. These are all forms of insecurity, quite all right. But I can assure you that they are symptoms of larger forms of insecurity. Insecurity, political insecurity, economic insecurity, social and cultural insecurity, physical insecurity, employment insecurity, family insecurity. When you have these itis, then the physical one becomes a manifestation of these more endemic insecurities, including, of course, educational insecurity. We saw your lecturers just coming back after 9 months. 9 months when our students were sent home. What were the lecturers asking for? A mere living wage, so as not to be beggars in the classroom. They were asking for a better educational system for our children. They be home for 9 good months. That is, IPOB that he has formed about 2012 did not start as a violent organization. They were marching on the streets of Onitsha, Oka, Aba, Owerri, Umuahia, and other places, saying we want self-determination, give us Biafra. They were peaceful. They were blowing whistle, wearing berets. Until 14th of September 2017, when the Nigerian army, through Operation Python Dance, invaded the ancestral home of Eze Kanu, the father of Nnamdi Kanu, at Afara Uku, Ibeku, Umuahia, in Abia State. 28 defenseless and unarmed Nigerians were killed in that bloody invasion. And Nnamdi Kanu managed to escape with the whiskers and by providence, landing in Rome and later Israel, where he swore to affidavits as regards why he had to run for his dear life. Mr. President, sir, let me use this opportunity to beg you, Mr. President, sir, on my bended knees, most genuflectingly, even as our case is right now before the Supreme Court, without prejudice to the outcome, release Nnamdi Kanu immediately.
And benefactor of the Zik lecture series, we cannot miss this, Chief Senator Ben Diobi, CON Ojelibo, FNIP, MDRI, who has been an inestimable asset to us in more senses than one. He has endowed this lecture series in perpetuity.
The Zik lecture series has evolved over the past 11 years now, with very significant impact and huge contributions to knowledge and national development. In the course of this lecture series, the Anambra State government patriotically declared every 16th of November as public holiday in the spirit of the lecture series and in honor and memory of the great Sikh of Africa. Let me by this also call on the federal government to follow suit and properly recognize and immortalize Sikh of Africa, who was instrumental to the independence of Nigeria. Last year, having clocked 10 years of academic impact and success, we took another major step by laying the foundation stone for the Sikh Lecture Series and Legislative Studies Institute, a legacy project that will permanently immortalize not just the man we all gathered here to immortalize, but the institutionalization of the Sikh Lecture Series. On this project, let me assure the university community, we shall leave no stone unturned at ensuring the completion of that complex for the next lecture series.